Hello there. Welcome to the stream. My name is Ace. Like to draw. Picked up sculpting along the way. This is our second mesh that we are doing right now. Our first one is still uh in between steps. I am learning how to UV unwrap it. It seems fairly straightforward, so we will be circling back to that project soon. Right now, we're going to be sculpting this big guy right here. He's a government agent. These meshes will be used as a reference for my webcomic. So I'm just sculpting them out, and then we can, rig them and pose them and make scenes, and then I can use that and draw pages for the webcomic. I've written an entire volume, and I regularly edit it. So I mean, really, all I have to do is just design the characters, and we can start doing the pages. Hopefully, sometime this year we'll be able to be doing that. I just need 7 meshes so I can start the first batch of pages. Now it'll take me a long way into the prologue. So let's get started. I believe yesterday we were doing the hands. We can tweak them a little bit more and then go on to the next thing, which will be his legs. We're not gonna. These are like placeholder fingers right here. I put a heavy line in between here because we're going to keep this finger. We're just getting the shape of the hand together here because we're going to cut those off and then just duplicate the finger for each, duplicate the index for each other finger and scale it, whatever. And let's see the palm looks okay. Sorry, I had a piece of food in my mouth. All right. Hope everyone's having a great summer, great weekday. It's going to be pretty hot, so I already have my air on for today. I'm going to keep it nice and cool in here. It's supposed to get all the way up to almost 100 degrees today, so make sure you beat the heat if you have to go out there. I'm already drinking water. Although, typically you start like earlier, like yesterday. You want to drink enough water yesterday to be hydrated today. But I'm still, drinking water. At least that's what they always told us anyway. I'm not really sure the exact science behind it. That's what I was led to believe at one point or another. I'm looking at these lines here, and even though the fingers are together, you're still gonna get a bit of like a Wolverine claw separation with the tendrils, not tendrils, tendons, not tendrils. Okay, so we're going to work on that. I just drew the lines there. That was not a good idea. So I think let's see. I'm gonna do that. Also, I looked into my memory usage for this program. It doesn't seem like you can only increase like video stuff, right? But what I've seen is that if you lowered the undo steps, that will actually improve your performance. So I know I don't make really I don't really make 256 mistakes at a time, so I lowered it back down to 32 here. I think as we get more proficient, I think I'm gonna lower it down to 5. I saw a video where someone had their undo steps down to 5, and then and then they didn't really have to worry about any lag. So I guess that was what was causing it, having a high polygon count and high undo steps. I'm not really sure, but we will definitely work through that. Also, let's see. All right, our thumbs apart, so that meat is not going to be as scrunched together as it is in my references. But the thumb tendril, actually, I can just use my own hand. Let me see. Yeah, the tendril. Wow, the thumb. tendon, you can kind of see it, like way back here. So maybe we can try to put that, get a good idea of that in. Right now I'm just laying in some really rough shapes here, and then we can just smooth them out. Let's see. Now we're gonna get in between, kind of sink them in a little bit, sink that area in between, and try to get a little bit of like little valleys there. We got our peaks, now we're doing the valleys. Let's see here. I'm just trying to get a good idea of, what would help if I matched my reference with what I'm doing. That's where some of my confusion is coming from. Let's see. Oh, shoot. I'm gonna flip that image. All right. I'm not using anatomy for sculptors for this particular one this time, not like yesterday. This time I'm using some references from Rafael Souza. I think he's just like a South American artist. I think he's from Brazil. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure he's from Brazil. I'm not. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure he's Brazilian. I'm sorry. I didn't really look too far into it, into his origin. But I do know his art. It's art. He's a very great artist. And I use some of his anatomy studies as reference sometimes. And that's what we're doing now. I'm looking at the hand, and we are going to try to get some kind of understanding of what we want here. This should lead into the knuckle, and it does, I guess, but we don't really have that clear here. So I think I should just do this. I'm gonna get it in between the knuckle a little bit, and then we'll define the knuckles a little bit more. Okay, do we need another peak here? I only see three. One, two, three, but yeah, you're only gonna see three, I guess. It's weird because the ring finger, you don't see that one. So why did I put that? You see the index, you see the middle, and then you see the pinky, but the ring finger tendon is not there for some reason. Is that a thing? I mean, I can't really tell on my hand because my hand has a lot of like my veins pop out with my hands a lot. I can't really see mine, and I'm hairy as freaking. I got Wolverine arms, so I can't really see too well. Got my primal rage body type, I got hair. I'm a hairy guy. I'm sorry, all right. It's annoying. I have to. I mean, you kind of do it anyway, but I have to constantly clean up after my own hair sometimes, bathroom and whatnot. Anyway, that's too much information. All right, I don't care. Let's see. Uh, don't worry about it. Okay, I gotta handle it. I gotta deal with it. But I can't see my hand as a result, only at an angle, and it's dark in here. I should probably turn my lights on, but I just refuse to do it. Got enough light in here. So here we are. I'm gonna flatten this, right? And then reposition the tendon. I almost said tendril. The tendon. We don't have any tendrils here. We're not making any creatures yet. I have an interest in creature design. There's a really good artist out there who is really good at doing creatures. Pretty much likes the same things. I think we share similar interests, but um, yeah, he's a really good artist. I think he's a professional artist now. I wish that I had been doing this like 10 years ago. I'd be a lot further along. I gotta post my art somewhere. I found a site called Kara. I'm gonna post my art there as well. Hey 99, welcome to the stream. Good morning. Good morning. I'm talking about Kara, this new up and coming rising star website that I found. I'm sure you, I'm pretty you yeah, you know about it. Definitely going to post my art there. You can get a little badge, that tells you that your art is genuine. I think that's funny. I'm here. I'm gonna walk the dog and I'll be right back. Let's hope there's no incidents today. Okay, yeah, no problem. You don't want your dog to start playing in his own mud. Good luck with that. I hope he's okay. I hope he's all right. I hope he's doing okay. I hope he's feeling better. His mood is better. Everything's better. I think he just wants your attention. I'm not an expert though, so don't quote me. Don't quote me, don't at me. All right, so we're going to keep working on the tendons. Oh my gosh, what is going on? I keep saying tendrils. I keep wanting to say tendrils, and I don't know why because I haven't really done any. Actually, no, I was looking at creature designs yesterday in my free time. I really wanted to do another 2D art piece, but we're gonna focus on this for right now. Okay, we'll get back to that. I still have to finish the one that I did do on stream. It's actually not done. I kind of forgot some steps, and I want to focus on 3D art because we're still learning how to, our workflow here. So I want to drill this into my head so that way we can just flow through these no problem. And then all I'll have to do is just wake up earlier and start streaming sooner, and maybe we can get like some real progress going instead of like these little vignettes here and there. That was the original plan. Normally I would draw like I would start drawing like at around 7. I have not been doing that lately. Even when I don't stream, it's been a little bit more difficult for me to do that due to my schedule. But we're trying to write it. It's actually been a little challenging to do it lately, but we're gonna get there. And once we have this workflow solidified, it's really gonna go. Because typically, when I didn't stream this and I was learning this, I was doing a sculpt with like within a week, and I want to get back to that, and probably sooner as well. Do it sooner, do it faster, more proficient. We're still adjusting things here and there, but we'll get there. Okay, that looks a little better. It just looks a little more clay, I guess. I don't even know if that's a word. I don't know why I did the fingers. They're gonna get cut off. But what we're doing here is we're establishing the shape. It's easier to understand the shape when it's there. When you have something there. You can get the proper width of the hand and everything. That's what the purpose of these fingers are for. We're gonna cut them off, but that's why we have them here. Let's see. Okay, let's do the thumb knuckle. We're just gonna beef it up just a little bit. Kind of give it a little like a little elephant skin texture there. It's a little squared up, but oops, we can uh we can adjust that. Put a couple more squares there too, as a matter of fact, kind of give it a skin like appearance. Kind of have the little lines in your knuckle here. The skin folds a lot. That's the intent anyway. We're still learning how to get things looking the way they should. I think we did a good job here. The thumb is coming together. It just needs to render a little bit more. Actually, the entire hand is coming together pretty well so far. I don't remember how much time I spent on this hand, on the hand of my last project, the one that we're still working on. I don't want to go through the trouble of looking up and listening to a lot of stuff while streaming. So I'll stream it when I have an idea of how to do it, and then we can just go through it because it'll be much faster that way. I already kind of lag behind a little bit, when I'm drawing and streaming. So we're gonna do one thing at a time here. Right? learn, and then do. And we stream when we do. Where are we? Okay, I'm smoothing everything out so the details look more natural. His hand still look a little bony. We're gonna smooth it out some more. I think the valleys that we made are a little too deep. You can kind of see when you like when you look at it from an angle, it almost looks right, almost. Or sorry, when you look at it straight on, but when you look at it from an angle, you can kind of see more, like right here. We want to make sure that these details are right because we're going to be using them as a reference. So we'll spend less time making alterations and corrections. We definitely don't want to copy these meshes exactly because then the characters on the page are going to look stiff. So we're going to have to really show movements and have good flow of lines and perspective and foreshortening and really make it fun, dynamic. A lot of people who you can tell when they're you can tell when someone's using a reference when they make it when the poses look a little too stiff. But we're going to try to remedy that because we are not immune to that criticism. I know I will end up doing the same thing if I follow a reference exactly. So we're going to try to work on that in the future. I think we can. I think what we're missing here is the detail in the fingers and hand. So we're going to try to. Let me see. Is this the draw sharp? Yes, it is the draw sharp. Where's my line? Oh, I know what I did. It's too weak. I'm gonna bring it back up to 200. That's normally where I keep the things at. That's not really important. That's really just a personal preference. So if any of you happen to be using this to get an idea of what to do, say like you want to get into this yourself, let's say don't worry about the numbers too much. Even with the voxel size, you'll get a feel for that as you go. I was more worried about the voxel size than anything when I watched other people do sculpts and learn from them. But that's not too bad. Even though we're kind of this mesh is double of what we did before, and I am not following my notes for voxel size. I did take notes, just so I can just drill in what I've learned exactly, and then make the changes there. But we've already made the change. We've already made some changes for the second mesh. Okay, and one of them was the voxel size. I almost did the hand. I almost started to do the fingers now and really set in the render for the hand, but we should do that after we make the feet. I had to double check my notes for that. There may be a reason for that. I mean, we should probably learn why things are done the way they are, right? But I mean, that's why you make changes, right? You understand why. If you try to do something one way and you're like, oh, well, maybe I should try it this way, and it doesn't work. Now you know why it doesn't work. You have an idea of why, or at least that's the idea, is to have an idea of why it doesn't work, right? I don't know. Right now, I'm learning. I'm trying to understand why things are done a certain way, and then just mold it to how I am doing it, like what's more comfortable for me. That's a little bit too thin of a line there. Let's see. We're gonna no. It's like a cut. All right, let's not do that. Let's instead increase the peaks, the tendons. Didn't say tendril that time, except for now. So did I fail or did I succeed? I don't know. Okay, I am going to, I'm gonna smooth that just a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna keep that actually. We'll just smooth the knuckles. They're at rest, so we could probably smooth them. Smooth the thumb as well. How about that? Now we just got to do the fingernails. How about we move this? Nah, you know what? I'm gonna grab this tendon and move it over. I'm gonna move these a little bit closer, just a little bit. Okay, it looks a little more like a hand. I am looking at. I'm looking for more peaks. That's what I'm looking for. It looks like this little dip that's here is going to it's always going to be there regardless if the thumb is extended or not, stretched out away from the fingers. So we're going to we're going to put this dip in here. Okay, I'm gonna lower the radius because it's not a huge indentation. Oops. I'm gonna try inflate, but we're not gonna inflate. We're gonna deflate. Yeah, like something like that. Let's move it. Kind of make it kind of curve into the wrist a little bit. I am going to smooth it out. That'll kind of weaken what we did a little bit. We want that to happen. I think I made this part a little too beefy. I'm going to smooth it out. Actually, I'm going to scrape it down a little bit. Just a little bit. And then we're going to smooth it. It's almost like it was sticking up above like everything else. That's not really gonna happen. If you like if I don't know if you can see that. Uh, my hand is all like smashed up against my fingers, right? This is the part that I'm trying to create here, right here. But even with this at its strongest, it's not above this part. It's not above your the rest of your hand. It's all the way down here, see? This is the peak. Oh, what am I doing? It's because it's inverted. I'm kind of messing up here, but this is actually a low point on your hand, okay? And then we're going up over the hill. That's what I'm trying to achieve there. Here we're kind of flat, right? But it's still lower. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to we're gonna lift that a little bit, and then we're gonna lift everything else a little bit more. I'm gonna grab the center. I'm just gonna pull it. We're gonna keep going, keep pulling it. We want to try to create that round shape that I was just talking about. This area is gonna be flat. We're talking more about the hand here, the back of the hand, like the straight back, basically the whole back of the hand except for the knuckles. That part is low. These are the knuckles. See, it's lower than the back. That's what we're doing here. So let's continue doing that. We have a bit more of a round shape. I know it's sometimes it can be a little you can get a little twinge of impatience and staying in one part, but that's where you make all of your gains, as far as progression, when you focus on the smaller parts that make up the whole, you'll get to the other stuff. I know we spend a lot of time on very very small areas here, but it's worth it in the end. It's, okay, so we just need to do our fingernails. I think we can probably start laying those in. The only problem is I don't have a specific reference for the fingernails, but we do have a hand reference that can help with it. I did not bring that reference out, so I'm looking for it now in my little folder. Okay, I got a little folder here. Got my folder that shows me everything. References going back, what, 14 years now, I guess. You surfing the web, you see something that kind of catches your eye. You're like, oh, you grab it as a reference. At least that's what I did. Do I have a specific thumb reference for the fingernail? You know what? We might just wing it because I'm not sure if I have anything like that. Why not? I know I can use my own thumb, so I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yawn. We can use my own thumb, so it's not a big deal. That's odd. I just pull up another hand reference and I can see the tendon for the ring finger on that reference, but I'm not gonna really stress over things like that. I have a reference where you can't see the tendon here, and I have a reference where you can. So that goes to show you that not all hands are the same. So they don't have to really be exact. If you're trying to learn anatomy, that's one thing. I think I mean I kind of know a little bit, but I mean I'm not gonna pretend like I'm an expert, but I don't stress over things like this too much. I mean we can just add it. So I mean I'm going to attempt to do that now, but just know that not all it's like for things like there are certain things that are not always going to be the same on every person. So don't stress about those things too much. It's a very very minute detail, but sometimes there are certain details that are important that are minute. So okay, so we added it. There can be close. They're a little close together, but it's okay. We're going to make the hold on. We're going to make the pits between the tendons a little more pronounced again, since we kind of went over this part. We kind of have to redefine it now, so we're going to redefine it. Let's see, 5, 9, okay. Uh, what do what? We're gonna do that. Okay, and then we have this one. So we're gonna redefine that as well. I'm gonna go on the other side and try to define that side as well. I'm gonna create that little pit one more time, just not strong though, just enough to get the shape of this tendon across here. All right, now I'm just gonna smooth everything over. So he doesn't have a pruned or a sinewy looking appearance on his hand. It's fine if that's like a stylistic choice, but we're trying to make them look like an actual person here. We're trying anyway. I'm noticing this here. That has to that is something we can fix. We can grab this, and I probably should have left it at the size it was at, because we adjusted it, we made it higher, then we put it back low again. I don't know. We're just doing stuff now. So I'm gonna try to make that a little bit more natural. I think we can just smooth it. So how about that? I don't know. Something still feels a little weird about it. I think we smooth this, because that bend shouldn't go all the way over. But we have this little meat part here that comes out. So what's that? That's underneath. I think that's where the problem is running. Where we're running into a problem there. Let's pull this out a little bit more. Oops, that's inflate. Okay, let's inflate it. All right, let's. I wanted to see if these meteor parts would turn. Well, I mean, I have to turn my whole arm, but you can keep them still. I don't know if that's a natural pose what we just did here with our arm, but we're going to go with it because even though it's not really a natural, I don't know. It seems like it might be slightly off. No, maybe it's not. I think yeah, maybe it's not. I'm putting my arm out and I'm looking at the shape of it. I don't know if you can see. Here, this is how you can see. Let me just move my camera a little bit. Not that way. Not that. What the heck? My camera's not moving. All right, cool. Thanks, camera. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. Okay, the auto tracking was on again. I don't know why. All right. This part and this part is what I'm trying to determine. I'm trying to determine where it's facing when you just have your arm straight out like that. I mean, it's down, but this is the same position. It's just a higher. Okay. It can be up and down, and that's what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at where the wrist bone is in relation to this and this is the center. This is where it bends. It looks like everything's cool, so I think we're all right. Let me put my camera back because I'm a little off center. I'm always off center, to be honest, because I set it up and then I start adjusting, and I don't think that this might be a little too pulled back. Maybe the camera's too small, but I don't want it to cover too much of the screen. So here we are. All right, we're back. Anyway, that's what I was looking at. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Okay, let's go back to the fingernail because we got a little sidetracked. All right, now I'm gonna use my own thumb as a reference here because that's all I have right now. I don't want to dig through my folder. Sometimes that takes a while. I have a lot of pictures, as I've said. We're going to just put the general shape in for now. Once we separate the hand from the arm and then really start beefing up the details of the hand, then we can really make it look better than what it looks like now. Now I know I'm putting the thumb nail a little bit further back from the tip. That's going to be okay because we're going to grab that part and stretch it over, make it look like a proper thumbnail. So it'll stick out. And then we're going to have to define it well enough to where when we are remeshing it, that we can put polygons on it and keep those details in. That's the one thing that I messed up on the other mesh. Well, that's one of the few things I messed up. I think the topology is not perfect, but um, like we got the eyelids. That was the main thing from my practice sculpts to my set in stone. This is the character sculpts. Okay, final product. We're not done with it yet, but we fixed it on our other mesh. Our other low poly mesh has proper eyelids with the insides and everything. We have to work on these, but I messed up the fingernails. By the time I realized that people do this for the fingernails as well, I had already done the hand, and I just decided I'm not gonna go back and fix it. It's fine. I was already too far back, so I was like, I didn't want to fix it. So we're gonna, what we're gonna do is just do better for this one. It's a little crooked. See if we can fix it by just warping the area, just manipulating it with the move tool. The thumb is, the thumbnails are a little symmetrical, I guess. I mean, as long as it's like they're not damaged or anything from wear and tear, it's pretty much a symmetrical, well, not symmetrical, but it's pretty even shape on both sides. It's like a half circle, kind of, depending on how they're cut. I don't know. It's close enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. We do want to get them as perfect as possible, though. I mean, it's as close to perfect as we can. But if there's something that's a little bit beyond my skill level, I'll be like, okay, we'll just, I'll do the best I can, and then we'll just try to do better next time. Without spending too much time on it. That looks okay. I mean, I think it's a little big. I mean, mine's are a little small, but oh, you know what? I think I know how I can improve it. I'm gonna make this part smaller. I mean, if we can. Doesn't seem like we're having the easiest time manipulating this here. Make this a little smaller and make it come out a little bit more. That's still a pretty big thumbnail. It's okay. We're gonna stylize these even further. Like we're making them like pretty realistic now, or at least realistic enough, I would say. I don't know. I'm not sure how realistic it is because we don't have a full, we don't have the full mesh and everything, the full textures and hair and all that. But I'm sure when it renders, it's going to look like a person. But we're also going to stylize these when we draw them. So I think making things a little too real it is, just copying this exactly is going to be a little boring. You want the art to be, interesting. At least I do. I don't know. I think hyperrealism works for some people. I don't even know if people do hyperrealism for uh comics. Best I can think of is the covers for Punisher Max and like Blade Max. They're done by Tim Bradstreet, and he does I think he traces photos. Yeah, he has actual models pose and then he just draws that. That's the one thing that I can think of but this is just for the covers. That's the one. That's probably the most hyper realistic, and it's still a little stylized because it's got heavy shadows, kind of like what I did for my 2D art. Like it has a lot of heavy shadows, heavy contrast. That's the right word, right? Contrast, shadows. Okay, yeah, heavy shadows, and it is that's yeah, that's one. Everything I can't really think. Oh yeah, Alex Ross. Yeah, Alex Ross does kind of hype. I think it's kind of hyper realistic, right? I guess that classifies. They're pretty realistic. I think they're a little stylized. They have the very classical comic like Golden Age or Silver, whichever one was in the 1940, like the Golden Age. What was it? The Silver Age? I don't remember. I think it's Golden Age. The very Golden Age look the chisel, big, uh, Doc Samson type characters, the Charles Atlas looking people, things like that. He draws like that, but they're very realistic, like the realistic version of those types of superheroes. I'm gonna do the index finger. I'm not gonna do these fingers; they're gonna get cut off. We just want to make sure that we have this finger right. We're gonna have to adjust the knuckles slightly for middle finger, so on and so forth. I'm looking at the shape of the index finger right now. All right. Oh, let's not do that or that. I'm bringing down the radius. I'm going to cut into the finger a little bit. We're going to create the fingernail, of course. Now I want to place the fingernail on the finger, and we're going to stretch it over like we discussed on the thumb. We're going to do that for all of the fingers. We want to get this one though as good. We don't want to skimp on this one because this one would be copied across all the fingers. And I'm not really sure how I would skimp on it. I'm trying to get the shape right, but this is the important one more so than this. Actually, you know what? That's not true. This is the important one because it's not going to be changed. So it's a little bumpy too. We got to make sure the shape is good. Okay, we're gonna go around it. I want to. Oh, I can't. Never mind. Sorry, I was thinking to myself. I was gonna say that I should put the music. I'm running it through VLC media player on my computer, and what I was going to do, I was going to put the music behind Blender, so the pop up will pop up and tell you what the name of the music is. But it's on a whole other computer. I can't do that. It's actually I'm playing it through my stream computer, not uh, my regular computer, and I would have to adjust the sound so that way you can hear this computer. It's a whole other thing. But I'm gonna I just want to find a way to I'm gonna put music credits somewhere. I got a lot of people in there, a lot of original artists too. So I want to make sure that they're credited. Still have to do that. I have to remind myself to do that before I have to be told, right? I wouldn't like it if somebody used. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it would be nice to be credited. It would be nice to be credited. I'll just say that. Okay. So we're going to definitely try to do that. Why is the okay? I know what's going on. My web camera is between both of my monitors, and sometimes the top monitor just taps it just a little bit when I move, and it if the webcam moves in any way, it'll turn on the auto tracking just to keep this the same. So I have to move the monitor back a little bit, so I have to tilt it so it doesn't touch the webcam. That's where most of my problems come from when it comes to the camera. Okay, this is a little funky, but that's okay. We're gonna cut through there. All right, we're gonna cut through that. Let's see. Draw sharp. I just want to wear that down a little bit. I mean, there's not much we can do about that until we cut the fingers off. I just want to make sure that it's a clear, almost a clear separation, because when we separate it, we won't have to worry about it. Okay, so we have two fingernails. All right, we have a basic hand, a placeholder hand. We have a kind of an idea of where the fingers are going to be. I think his index finger is just a little too thick, but we're going to adjust that when we just have that finger. We'll leave it there for now. Well, wait a minute, wait a minute, whoa, 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 whoa. Maybe we can do something right now. Let me grab the radius. Let's take it up a little bit, and let's just kind of shrink the finger enough to where it comes to a point, kind of like your finger. It comes to a point. Like this part is thicker than the end, at least on my finger. I don't know. It's anatomically correct. I don't know why I said it that way. Anyways, let's see. Fix that, and then we can just pull in the finger a little bit here, like so. Try to drive it into a point. Okay, that's a little better. We didn't define the other side of the finger yet. So what I want to do right now, okay, that lines up perfectly with this. But I have the bump right over the knuckle. See how it's right there? That's not right. This indentation should be over here. And this needs to go up a little bit. So we're going to do that. We're going to push that down a little bit. Hang on. I think that's still in the same spot. we don't want to we want to make sure that the bumps aren't deformed, right? All right, wait. What if we just start over? What if we just define that again? Hands, yes, hands. Got hands. Trying to adjust the creases in the fingers. Welcome to the stream. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How was everything? I can't wait to start streaming the server or just any Minecraft build at this point. I'm really looking forward to doing that. I've just been busy with this. It's good. Just learning a bit about modding No Man's Sky. Oh, you can mod that? I did not know that. I was pretty blown away when I realized that I could make a death egg in No Man's Sky. Someone had made a spherical base floating in the air. Actually, you know what? I think that was a mod. It's like a build limit mod, like a like a mod where you can build anywhere or stretch out the build area. So yeah, of course. Never mind. I forgot that was controlled by a mod. I never actually did it, so I was still pretty entrenched into the vanilla game. But I did like the fact that it was possible that I could build a death egg if I wanted to. Someone had asked me if I was going to do it, and I didn't think it was possible. And then they showed me that it was. I said, I'll keep that. I'll keep that in mind one day. I was thinking about doing a fresh save of that. I'm not even sure like what I was doing anymore. I had an organic ship. I had just got an organic ship when it first came out. I was getting what I do is I go on Reddit. They have a No Man's Sky coordinate exchange. And if somebody finds a cool ship, they'll post the coordinates to it, and you just go and get it. You know, it could be like S rank freighters, ships, organics, anything. Man, it's you just going through that entire Reddit. You'll find any ship that you want. And if you don't, you know, if you uh have an aversion to doing it that way. If you want to try to find it and discover it yourself, that's one thing. But if you don't, then you can go to Reddit and find whatever ship you want and go to it. I think it's pretty cool, personally. It takes a very long time to grind for ships naturally. I used to wait at 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 space stations and wait for them to come in and see, oh, is that the one I want? Okay, I'm gonna grab it and just go and buy it. You know, when they land, you can buy them. But after a while, it's like, okay, and then I'm looking for a specific ship, and I'm not really sure where to look because I've seen it. You know, I've seen people in the player hub with a specific ship. I'm like, how do I get that ship? You might have a shot at getting it if you go to that Reddit. Oh, no wonder I'm having trouble moving it. I'm on the draw sharp tool. But yeah, it's a pretty. I like that game. I got it right. I got into it right before the shutdown. I had like a couple of bases with I forget what I was making. Something expensive. I needed three different bases, and I had to put the ingredients together and then sell the stuff, and then so I'm making a lot of money from that. Yeah, last time I played was 6 years ago. Man, it's been that old. It's been that long since it's been out. I started playing it in 2020. I felt like it felt like a new game. Well, it was a new game to me, but it seemed like it's a newer game than that, right? I remember saving and reloading over and over again to trying to find the freighter I wanted back then and waiting at a trade post for a living ship. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did. Right now, doing some base building since I never really did in the past. That was the first thing I did, of course. You know, that's one thing that holds all of my attention is base building. But on the way to going and seeing if I can get like an S-rate gun or the mining tool or something like that, some every now and then I would see a cool ship and try to wait for that ship and buy it. I had one paradise planet, one water planet, and one no, the ice and the water planet were the same. Then it was the paradise planet, and then there was an acidic planet. I think that was my first planet. Was getting on a like an acidic or a toxic, whichever one that planet is. Chemical, toxic, acidic, one of those. I forget because it's been a while since I played. You know, once the shutdown hit, I was playing other things, but just before that, like in January, no, yeah, it was in January I was playing it. January, February, and then I started Iceborne, and I didn't even finish that. I got to finish that too. But yeah, it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Definitely up my alley as far as sci-fi, space, and base building. I like that type of stuff. I think that might be the only one. Well, I guess Ark would count as sci-fi, right? I play that. Oh, the Terraria mod that I was thinking of that I brought up the other day was Calamity was one of them. One of my friends plays on Calamity. I was reminded of it because Cole Carnage was just playing it on his stream. I was like, oh yeah, it's Calamity, yeah, because I completely forgot to look up those mods to tell you which ones it was. One of them was Calamity. So that's the answer to that. I still play on vanilla though, so I added a terrain mod. I I added a terrain mod, and now all my bases are floating. Oh wow, they're not supposed to float, are they? I think you can make them float if you wanted to. Like I said, the someone made a actual planet. It was like a machine planet, complete with the ring, the Saturn accretion disk, and everything. But it was made out of like parts. It was really cool, and it was floating in the air. It was like high in the sky, almost in the upper atmosphere, where you're basically in space. Like he put the base up there. Yeah, we played modded with Calamity, and it was so much fun. Yeah, it looks fun. Actually, it looks fun. I'm like I said, I'm still having a lot of fun with vanilla, but eventually I'm gonna mod it. I know they update Terraria a lot, so sometimes that breaks the mods. You have to wait for the release. So I got to get into Starbound as well. I've tried it. I did like that too. That's definitely that's almost like No Man's Sky, just minus the flying. But I didn't really delve into it that much. I tried it out. I did like it, but I just didn't really play it a lot. But I do intend to though. I do like it. Let's see. I'm gonna try to increase the. I don't know why I did it that way. I'm trying to increase the 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 knuckle skin here a little bit. Okay, we have. I mean, his finger is kind of meaty, but we're going we're going to adjust that once we once we get rid of the placeholder fingers. We can adjust all of that. I think it might be time to move to the legs now. I think we spent enough time on the hands. We have placeholder hands. We have an idea. We can measure his entire body. The more parts that we have on there. FTL and Calamity was how we played with like minor quality of life mods. Oh, okay. I've heard of Calamity. I forget. I still forget the other one. It was if it's not Calamity, it was something to do with the ocean. They put a whole. There was like it's name. I think it's named after the whatever the ore that they placed in. There was this ore they placed in the ocean. You can go into the ocean. It's like a whole dungeon in the ocean. I don't think that's Calamity, but I can't be too sure. But it kind of expands on the ocean biome a little bit. They put a dungeon in there, go in there, and it's like hard and tough and all that stuff. I think Calamity is the one with the classes, right? That has like the bard and all that. Because Typo, he likes the bard. He likes the bard class a lot. He was telling me he always tells me about that mod. So, uh, but I never tried it yet. I haven't tried it. Let's see. I'm gonna save it so we have the progress here for our hand. I was actually I'm looking at it as a whole, and this he's got a little Popeye action going on still. I thought we fixed that. You know what I did? I did adjust it, and then I readjusted it earlier because I thought the shape was off. So we're gonna readjust it. I have to look to see if I can find the old mod list we had. Jawsome, yeah. I'm gonna take a look at that. I still have to beat the additions they made to the game. I'm on a Zenith Seed right now. One day I'm gonna stream that. But I've started a Zenith Seed and I got to the Devourer of Worlds. It's very tough, but it's fun. It's like they switched every. I don't know if you ever played on the Zenith Seed, but they basically switch everything around. You start off in hell on an island, and it's the island itself is beginner friendly, but once you leave, then it's like super hell on either side. You go up, there's a mushroom biome that's already tough, but now it's hardcore master slash legendary difficulty. Because when you play on a Zenith Seed, it's like a master world, but since you're playing on Zenith and all the other stuff they added to it, it's basically legendary. It's the only way you can play on the legendary seed, legendary mode, and it has its own unique drops and everything. So yeah, it's and then once you pass the mushroom biome, then you have the underground or sorry the overworld biome, which is basically still underground, but it has the same difficulty as being overworld. So you can get all your progression there. And then once you pass that, then you're in the underground world. There's jungle everywhere. There's random biomes, snow, all that stuff. Queen bee larva is all over the place, and if of course, if you break that larva outside of the jungle, she starts in rage. She's going to kill you. So you got to be ready for that. Then they have the I think it's the Dart Don't Starve Together bosses on there. On top of that, I've never played that game, but I know they did some kind of crossover. You have to stay in the light as well, just like that game. Apparently, that's from that game. I don't know, but if you go in the darkness, you take damage and you will die like pretty fast. Lava does like 400 points of damage off the bat, and there's crispy honey blocks all over, like layered, like in every biome. So if you break through them, they have a chance to drop lava. So it makes it that much harder. And then after you get to the underground, it's the surface. And as soon as you get to the surface, it's as soon as you're outside, it's all space. So you have all the gravity, and if you touch the top of the world, you die. It's ridiculous, but fun. And then of course there's lava pools on the surface as well. And there's crimson and corruption growing from the start. So expect that. By the time you get to the top, it's gonna be crimson and corrupt. It takes you a long time to dig up because of all the crazy stuff they put. But once you get to the top, you got corruption and crimson, and then they're all over the place. It's definitely crazy. But I'm going to build Final Ballervania in that scene. That's just going to be the name of it. I'm calling it the Final Ballervania. That's where Ballervania originated from. It originated from Terraria. I had a regular Ballervania, I had a Super Ballervania, I had a Mega, an Ultra, and this will be the final Ballervania for Terraria. Oops. So I have to do it for Minecraft. Minecraft is rather difficult trying to get Ballervania up and running. I got pretty close a few times, but it's tougher than I thought. But we'll get there one day. One day we'll have it. His arms still look a little bit long. Let's see if we can fix that right now. We don't want to mask it just yet. Let's see. All right, I know that's good. So how about we do this? Oops. How about we get? Hang on, hang on. Oh, here we go. I need the lasso mask so I can lasso his lower forearm or his lower forearm there. Forearm, that lower forearm. And we're going to invert that, of course. And see, I'm going to set pivot to unmask. I don't see it. Is there a reason why I don't see it? Oh, pivot to mask border, I think. It might be because I don't have the thing set. Let's see, scale. I want to scale it. Where's the set pivot? Whoa, 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 whoa. So that's not the way to go. I'll tell you what we'll do instead. Okay, we're gonna go back to that. Let me try this. Jamming it into the masked area is going to create a little bit of distortion, but we'll fix it. The only thing that I want to do now is just adjust his arm length. I think that's fine. Yeah, because when they're at his size, his palm should come to about right there where his junk is. All right, let's return the radius back down to I guess that's close enough. 38, whatever. All right. Um Alt M. I'm gonna take a look at his arm here because that's the first thing I'm gonna be looking at. I'm gonna smooth all that out. All right. So that's something we're gonna have to fix. What we're going to do is we're gonna put some. I'm gonna put some clay strips there, and we're gonna leave it for now. Next time we remesh, this, all this will go away once we, because the clay strips will cover it. What? Well, that's not ideal, is it? Try inflating it instead. We're gonna try to do our best to cover that up because we're gonna, once we remesh it, all that'll go away. We'll have to redefine this area. And it's basically just the elbow, I think, that we'll have to redo. It'll be okay. That's why you want to adjust the proportions as soon as possible so you don't have to go back and do things like this. I think it'll be okay. I just want to define where his elbow should be, so we'll have to do less work when we remesh it. Make sure that we didn't jack up the other side because for some reason that's a thing. Okay. That'll be adjusted when we remesh it. I could probably hit remesh right now, but I don't want to bloat this any more than I need to. We're going to remesh it as soon as we extrude these the rest of the leg. So it'll happen. It will happen. I'm gonna go ahead and save it, and whatever happens, happens. All right, so we're gonna go back to mask. Whoa, 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 whoa. Excuse me. I swear I only sneeze when I'm on stream. All right, so we're gonna mask his little nubs here. We're gonna invert those nubs. Oh, okay, it worked for the legs, but not for the arms for some reason. Ain't that something? All right, I'm even gonna think about that anyway. We're gonna stretch these out, and so we can see we're starting to get a little bit of lag. I don't know why that's lagging. Getting a little bit laggy. All right, hold on. Let's. We want to try to follow the body, the shape of the leg on the body. I'm looking at a reference for that, and we're talking about like a slight S shape. You have this for the torso, and then you'll have that same S shape for the front of the legs as well. I just wanted to move that. I don't know. I don't know why I did. Yeah, but it should be like this. Once you have the calves and everything in the knee, it'll be a shape. here, I like to look at it from the front because that helps me measure it better. And then the leg be there. Just slightly back a little bit. And then we can adjust them to real world size. I don't know if I have a specific height for this character, but we'll figure it out. Probably just make him like 6 foot or something like that. Maybe shorter than that. I don't know. 5'11". I actually didn't really think about. Yeah, 5'11" sounds good. I don't really see him as a tall person. I guess technically 5'11" is tall for a man, right? You know, you got what was it 5'8", 5'9" is like the average height. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna go with that. Okay, sorry about that. I was thinking about something. Let's see. We're gonna get rid of the mask here. We could remesh it now. This is gonna beef this up, I'm sure. Yeah, we're at 7 million now. I don't know where I went wrong with that number. I mean, we actually we had our last one was I think it's at 1.8, maybe 2 million. We're at 7 now, so we definitely did something different. And I know, and it has something to do with how we remeshed it. We should probably stick to the way we remeshed it before, and actually have that written down in my notes. I just did not follow them this time. Anyway, I'm sure we'll be okay. We're gonna make it work. Not even together yet. Like he's not even full. He's not even whole yet, but he will be. Once we get to the low poly mesh, it'll be fine. It's not like we're going to be using this exactly as a reference. We're just going to copy the details onto something that's more system friendly. Oh yeah, hold on. Before we go on to that, we can take a look at what our little alterations here for his arm. Since we just remeshed, we should be able to fix those. Because we laid the groundwork, it should just go away. Should be able to erase those. If we didn't, that scar would be extremely hard to remove if we didn't do what we did. As you can tell, I've been there before. Been in that situation. That's all it really takes, to be honest. If like you want, like when you do, like I'm gonna have to do the same thing for the head. When you merge it, kind of just want to cover it first, cover the lineups first, and then remesh it, and then you can blend it in to make them look like a whole. Whatever you attach to them, make it look like it's a part of them actually, instead of a clear division line. That's all it really takes. It looks like we're yeah, it looks like we're still good. We can move around and whatnot. So I think we're all right. I think we did improve the performance with the undo steps. So maybe we are okay to go a little higher as far as the numbers are concerned. I like keeping the low poly or the high poly low. Is a low number to an extent. I feel like it's much easier, and it kind of helps you get an idea of how to get your point across in as few polygons as possible. When I was learning in ZBrush, I was going all the way up to 60 million. It really doesn't have a limit. Well, actually, I think that is around the limit. I think you can go like 70. or 80 maybe, somewhere around there is the limit. And I was I think my first sculpt was like at 60, and I wasn't even done yet, so I had to kind of had to do a little better than that next time. But it's nice to be able to get something similar to that in like a fraction of the amount of polygons. I feel like that's like a sign of improvement as far as not milling around or bloating your file. What in the world? I don't know if that showed up on the thing. Okay, yeah, I'll look at that. Actually, I can look at it right now. And oh, okay, yeah, I'll take a look at that. Oh wow, I don't know much about Terraria mods. I do know Calamity though, because I've heard of that one. Oh, is that the same one that I clicked on? Yeah, there was one other one. I have to get the name of it. Yeah, those made for fun playthrough. Recipe lookup is basically JEI. Oh, okay. Do they have is there like a mod loader of some kind, like a mod, like a program where it loads the mods for you, something like that, like Curse Forge or what was it called, like T mod or something like that? I don't know. I know I mod T mod loader. Yeah, okay, all right. So I had that right. Gotcha. Yeah, I remember being told about that. See, the line is barely noticeable. We still have our little skin, little elbow skin there. It's probably a little too much, but we can always adjust that. And the line is almost completely gone. Devs work with modders to keep it up to date and working. Good, good. All right, let's save it. Okay, we're gonna go back to the legs now. I wonder if I should have adjusted this little weirdness here before remeshing it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's a weird little artifact there. I want to see if I can. Actually, you know what I should do? I should go back and re-extrude that because I'm not sure if I can just fix this. Let's see. Well, I can't go back now. I think I just. Oh, I knew what I could do. All right, we'll just do what we did with the arm. We'll keep going, and then the next time we remesh it, we can fix it. I probably should not have let that slide, but we'll be all right. We'll be okay. Let me see. I never had to deal with a mistake like this before. I think we can just yeah. All right, so yeah, we can just scrape it. I can live with that. Scrape it, smooth it, scrape it, smooth it. Hang on. I really want to find the name of that other mod that I kept hearing about. So I keep thinking about it. Ah, yes, it's thorium. Have you heard of that one, Judicious? Thorium is the one. That was the one that added all the it added like another like more ores and whatnot. Probably more bosses too. I think he was showing me a boss. It was like a bullet hell. The thorium is the one. Let's see. Okay, we got something. We can work with this. We apparently can just scrape away stuff like that, so we're okay. I just don't want it to have this shape. Wait, I thought I clicked on the thing. I'm just trying to fix what I did now. Trying to fix the fix. I'm fixing the fix, all right? All right. Enough of that. We can just shape it from here. Actually, you know what? Let me go back a little bit. We can just shape it. All I wanted to do was just get rid of that weird sharp stick area there that I had made. All right, we're in orthographic view. Now we're going to shape the legs, the basic shapes of the legs, and try to get to the feet while we're here. All right, and I'm going to start putting in the calves, the basic shape of the calf. Got it back. We got we're back on track here. We got it. Got the little discrepancy buffed out to the best of our ability. His knee, I'm imagining his knee is right there. And I'd say that's about, yeah, it was something. It was like it I think that was the one that added a bunch of like hard stuff. Got these crazy bosses on it. But Thorium was the one that I kept hearing about as well. Like one of like Typo, he played with that one a lot. And I don't remember what it added myself, but I think you said it made it more difficult. While I do enjoy a challenge, um, I am not completely done with vanilla yet when it comes to Terraria. There may be a conflict between it and Calamity, like one or the other. Oh, hmm. Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I'm not sure if he had them. Well, I guess you can't have them both if there's a conflict, but maybe he had like one world with Calamity and one world with Thorium, or maybe it wasn't updated, something like that. I don't know. Honestly, not really sure. Welcome back, 99. We're blocking the legs. I'm getting the basic shape. They're really flat right now. Got little Gumby legs, but we're getting ourselves a body here. A man is being created. A man with a big belly. Let's try. Well, it's not going to be so different from behind either. Except this should not be here. This little line here. I'm not really sure why it's there. But it's okay. Because we can just make it any shape we want. It's just the way it goes. But we will like kind of make it like more rounded, like it would be in the back. He is not going to have the prominent calf muscle shown like the other character is. I'm just gonna make him nice and smooth back here. They're gonna follow the basic shape, but I don't see him having what a body it is. Wow. Yeah, it can really pack in the booze, huh? I think my first concept art of this person, he had like a bottle of Jack Daniels. I don't know why I did that. I just wanted to draw him with something, yo. He had a bottle of Jack Daniels in his hand. I have to show you that. I'm gonna show you that when I get off stream. My original concept art for this before I started doing um I don't know, before I started working on my style, really. I mean, it was basically, yeah, just gotta add that jiggle to the rig. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I'd love to see it. Yeah, they can work together, but it's highly recommended to play them separately. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could have sworn that he had them. He said he had them both, but I don't know much about either besides little bits and pieces here and there. I know that one adds classes, the other adds more ore and I think bosses. By order of appearance, I think I can't. I'm kind of looking forward to doing the main characters, but by order of appearance, they are past mesh number 7. I think if I remember correctly, uh, it would be around mesh 9 or 10, maybe 11. But I'm really looking forward to doing that. I don't have an exact uh, look for my main character yet. Like I have an idea. I have an idea of how. Well, I mean, it's pretty detailed, but I haven't actually drawn it. That's what it comes down to. I'm very looking forward to putting that for Dread. No, 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 not that, not yet, not yet, not yet. That's gonna be an animation. That's gonna be an animation. It's that's a whole other thing. This is like the prequel to that. This is the prequel. It's set in the same. This story is set in the same universe, but it's essentially a prequel to that story, to the original story. But as soon as I lay like down some real progress on uploading, the fans what? No need. Try. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's like I said. As soon as I get a good progression going with the web comic, I'm going to start storyboarding the animation like immediately, and I'm going to do the animation inside Blender as well. So you're going to see the meshes. You're definitely going to see the meshes for that because I'm going to animate it in Blender. I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm this close to just storyboarding it because I know the story. All I really need is like the dialogue, the specific dialogue, and I have like some of the beats. I have like 99% of the beats, so the dialogue will come easy. And the events, because I've worked on it since what 96, 97. So and its story didn't change much since then. So it just makes more sense from an adult mind than a kid's. It was more edgier back then, when I was younger. It made no sense, and you probably wouldn't even root for this character for some of the stuff that he ends up doing. But I made it make more sense, and it's a character that you know it's a proper character. Okay, that reminds me. When are you planning the Shadow Heart stream? Very very soon. I'm thinking about this weekend. I always root for Dread because he beat the loyalty. I'm going to try my best to keep it like my original intent, to keep that original intent in the story. Okay, I'm just gonna make it make more sense because I made this when I was a kid. I'm gonna make it into a proper story. I think for what it was and for the amount of effort I put into it. it's actually not that bad. I think it could work. I think it could work. It's just, there were some missteps here and there that I made, with the story. I'm, of course, making up as I went along. It got a little crazy with the power creep, but I think I think what I'm doing with it now is going to be something. It's going to be something that I think some people will be into. Uh, it might. I don't know. I'm expecting a little bit of division because people don't make stories like this anymore. But at least that it doesn't seem to be like where people's creative works are in. They're not in that vein anymore, really. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm pretty confident in it being something that will interest a lot of people. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. At the very least, watch it and be, like, oh, okay. Back for more, are you? It's coming back. Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is viewed as a classic now. Oh yeah. Well, I never heard anything bad about Attack on Titan, to my knowledge. I'm sure every series has its detractors or critics, but generally that was a well liked series. If I must say, I didn't really look and see how the consensus from the fan base, but when I watched it, I didn't see anything wrong with it. It's very interesting. Okay, here's the lowdown. Playing Thorium and Calamity together from a progression challenge, Calamity is more powerful and wrecks the balance of Thorium, so you just skip Thorium's mechanics to kill its bosses with Calamity weapons. Ah, I see. Yeah, when I make it, I want to do a modded. I want to do a modded Zenith Seed. That's what I want. Is that possible? I want to take that and make it crazy. Like, why would you play this crazy? Because that's what I do. When I at first when I got into modding, thanks to Fallout 4, by the way. The cool stuff is great, but now I'm into like just making things even more difficult. I did that with even though I didn't even finish Cyberpunk, I did that with Cyberpunk. Like I wanted to see if there was anything like a patch, like a patch mod that will fix a lot of the glitches that Cyberpunk 2077 was dealing with, and I found a lot of stuff that would actually make it harder. So I decided, oh, why not? But now that they're updating it more frequently, that completely breaks the mod. So I don't mod Cyberpunk anymore. Plus, I never finished it, so I'd rather just finish it on the first playthrough. Like I didn't do anything that make it strong, like OP or ruin experience. I literally just made it harder. It was kind of fun, and I was still, it the way the game was before. You can get strong, through the vanilla means of progression, and it wouldn't really matter how hard you made it. Eventually, you're gonna be like, a street preacher from Johnny Mnemonic, just kill everybody. Still a hunger for it. It takes hyper violence to another one. Oh yeah, you want to see hyper violence 99? Oh, you want to see hyper violence? Oh, you're gonna see it. Don't even worry about it. It's gonna be hyper violence with a story. Okay, I'm gonna put probably more effort into that than I did with my webcomic, and I put a lot of effort into my webcomic. Okay, a lot. Like I really wanted to make this like something that people would enjoy. I don't know if I succeed. The only way I'm going to find out is when I start posting the pages. But I really want you to read my next edit. I want you to read the second and probably final draft of this story that I'm creating here, starring this guy right here. Well, he's not starring. He's not the main character. He's one of the main characters, but he's not the main character. Okay, don't worry about this. He's in it. Okay, he's just in it. Don't worry about it. You're gonna see this guy in all in his bulbous glory right here. See that? You're gonna see that in the story. I'm gonna make a panel just like this for you. That's how you're gonna know he's gonna be in this story. You're gonna see this panel, and then he's gonna. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Anyways, that's what the people want. If if this is extreme, if this is extreme difficulty, the effort that I put into this story, then the animation is gonna be European extreme. Okay, if you get that reference, that's Metal Gear Solid difficulty. The choices that you can do for that. That's what I'm doing here. Okay, I really put a lot of. The only thing is, I wanted to have some elements of horror, and I don't know about much about horror, the animation. So I'm gonna have to sit down and really study what works and what doesn't work in the type of horror that I want to do. That's the only thing that I don't have like rock solid right now, but it's gonna get there because I'm gonna put everything that I've learned from doing this webcomic into that story, and hopefully it'll be better for it. We're gonna block in the knees now. I'll rewatch it and talk a ton of horror movies with you. Okay. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I had Evil Dead on the docket, but I haven't been watching anything. Both of the Evil Deads because I haven't seen either of them. The 20 was it 16 2017 one or the one that just came out. But we were gonna get to those. I don't know if that'll help with what I'm doing, but I'm gonna start looking at stuff. I think the last thing that I've seen, I'm not even sure if I've seen it. It might have just been reviews of it. It was the one with the it was like I don't know, it was like a teen horror. I don't know what it was. And some girl finds a monkey's paw and tries to use it to fix her life, but she keeps screwing it up and then she keeps using the monkey's paw for some reason, even though all of her friends are dying as a result. Hey, do you know this movie? I don't even know what it's called. Do you know this movie 99? What I'm talking about here? I'm pretty sure it was just a review of it and not the actual movie. But Monkey Shines? Is that what it's called? It's new. It came out within a few years. It's like it was on Amazon or something. It came out within a few years. Maybe the last decade. I'm not even sure anymore. Is it newer? It's newer. It's a newer movie. It's like this little box. It's like an Asian uh culture esque box. I don't know what to call it, but it's from there. And inside of it is a monkey's paw, and all you had to do was just make a wish to it, and it gives you the wish, but it takes something from you, like a monkey's paw would, obviously. And Ryan Felipe is in it. That's one of the two people from The Way of the Gun. If you've seen that movie, that's the only. Oh yeah, he was a shooter. He was the guy from Shooter. Mark Wahlberg was the guy was the shooter guy in the movie, and then they made a TV show of Shooter, and he stars in that too. So I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know. I watch that type of stuff sometimes. Talk to me, okay. Wish upon talk to me. Well, anyway, Ryan Felipe is in it, and he is the dad. He's the father of this girl. I don't know the actress. She kind of looks like Robin Tunney, like a younger Robin Tunney to me, but um, yeah, she's in the movie. There's a lot of monkey paw movies. I've seen zero of them. I don't know. I know the concept. I just don't. I haven't really watched anything with monkey paws in them. And I'm pretty sure I just saw the review of this movie because I had YouTube playing when I was either drawing or editing, and it came up, and I felt like I watched it. Like I know so much about the movie that I felt like I watched it. It's a full subgenre. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. I'm looking at the proportions of the leg now. I feel like this is just a little short. Maybe we can pull that. Well, I'll wait until I extrude the feet. I can always adjust it. But yeah, that's the only actor that I remember that was in the movie because I know that actor. That was the only actor I could recognize. It was a bunch of like newer generation actors in it, as far as I can tell. It's gonna be a new one late this year or next year. A Monkey's Paw movie, or just horror in general. I'm going to assume you mean Monkey's Paw movie. Perhaps it's a sequel. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. No problem. We already have our fix here. Just gonna erase that. I'm gonna erase that too. A Dude Talk to Me. I think it's an anthology. Okay. It almost seemed interesting enough to watch, but apparently it's not a good movie. So I don't know. At least not according to the reviewer. I try to just, judge it by my own standards. I kind of wanted to see though where they took that. It's mildly interesting, but the reviewer, whoever it was, did not like it. Most horror movies aren't good movies. Well, I mean, yeah, there's a lot that I haven't seen, so I can't really comment. I heard Witch was good though. I kind of want to see that. Witch. Did I see Annabelle? I don't even remember. I feel like I watched it, but I don't really. Honestly, I don't know. A lot of them. I know a lot of those movies. Nowadays are kind of forgettable to me. They don't really stand out. Like and I was probably writing my story back then. And if I did watch them, and they probably just had them on and just didn't wasn't really paying attention. Truth, like the new Zelda games, trendy. Annabelle was fun, but they overdid it. Yeah, is that the one where they were trying to get like they had the box with the doll in it? They were trying to get it out of the house, and it kept appearing back in the house or something like that. Like the dog kept coming back, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. Like, why did you buy it in the first? Look at it. Why would you want it? Why would you want to buy that doll? Or either they bought the house or the doll was in it, or they bought the doll and brought it to the house, and like they kept, I don't know, like they kept entertaining it or something, like not entertaining it, but like giving it the attention that it would need to get stronger or something like that. I don't know, something or other. I don't know. I don't remember if it was Annabelle or what. Yeah, that's crazy. That reminds me, I was looking forward to WB's horror universe, even though like a lot of the movies I saw in it were bad. Like I didn't really like the new. Like I understood where they were coming from with Mummy. They were trying to make it like the older Mummy movies, where it was kind of like a mix of like a little bit of humor with the action in it. But why didn't they just use those movies? You already had an established audience there. I don't know. I feel like it was a kind of I feel like it was another unnecessary reboot. They tried to have Doctor Jekyll, who was Russell Crowe. He was going to be in it. He was going to be the doc. He was going to be the one that ties all the movies together, kind of like a Nick Fury. And they had I think they were going to do the Dracula Untold was going to be a part of that universe, but they made that its own thing because I guess they kind of lost faith in the fact that that universe would work, the dark horror universe. They ruined the Mummy with Tom Cruise. Honestly, I think they ruined it with the Dragon Emperor one. The first two I think were great, and I'm not even talking out of nostalgia. I felt like they had something there, as far as a franchise was concerned, but they couldn't bring all the actors back, and they didn't flat out use like they didn't do anything that made the first two what they were. So it was kind of a departure from the first two, and I think that's part of the reason why it failed. They probably could have done the same idea, but just I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a different director or what. or different, just a not a great script, but they kind of ruined it. I didn't like the Dragon Emperor one at all, and that had this like some of the same characters in it. That really takes me out of the movie when they, I mean, like I said, I think I've said this before, like when they don't, when they switch out the actors, that really bothers me personally. I mean, if they die in real life, that's one thing, right? You have an understanding, but when there's no reason for them to use the same actors, they just want to change. I don't know. Maybe the actor turned it down. I can kind of get that too. If they see a loaded diaper, when they know a loaded diaper when they see it and they don't want to be in it, that's another thing as well. I kind of understand that, but why even do the movie if you're just gonna like switch out half the characters? I don't think it's possible to have a nostalgia for a dark universe. We talk about this while Castlevania music plays a flop and run. Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm just saying. I just remember they had the Dark Universe. I just think they should have just tied it into the original Mummy movies because that might have worked. You could have just had what's his name, Rick O'Connell, just fight other things beside the Mummy. That would have easily worked out. You know, they kind of teased that with Blade. Before they canceled that franchise, I guess, with Wesley Snipes, where there was an alternate ending where he was going to start fighting vampire werewolves instead of vampires, and I think they did that because of the success of Underworld. But that could have worked in Blade as well. He doesn't always have to just fight vampires, even though that's kind of his thing. I mean, I kind of get it, but you can treat it like I don't know, what were they doing with the Hugh Jackman version of Van Helsing, where they just said, you know what, screw all of that stuff, where it's just him and Dracula, and it's like some kind of like a vendetta, white whale type thing, right? Um, they had Frankenstein in there. They had werewolves. They had him fight all kinds of stuff in that one movie, in that 2 hour movie. So why not do that for a Rick O'Connell or a Blade? I mean, you're gonna have Blade in the Marvel universe anyway, right? I mean, but he only fights vampires. I mean, he fights Spider Man all the time. Does he fight Punisher? I don't know, but he's always like, Spider Man's always around when he's there. Jonah Hex is a DC movie. Helsing is a Dark Universe. Oh yeah, Jonah Hex. Yeah, yeah. Jonah Hex. What wasn't Jonah Hex supposed to be the first Dark Universe movie? What wasn't that movie from 20 years ago? I don't think Jonah Hex was supposed to be a part of that. They had Mummy. They had Dracula Untold, which was kind of separated from that universe. And then they were going to do a Dr. Jekyll movie with Russell Crowe. He was already playing the character in The Mummy, and I think he was in something else too. And then what was it? Frankenstein. What else is a dark? I guess a werewolf dude. I don't know. I mean, honestly, they didn't really get too far into it, but they had like two or three different ones planned, and then they just decided not to do it. Yeah, Jonah Hex is a DC character. Oh, he was supposed to be? Okay. The first Dark. No, we're talking about what is that? No, it was specifically the well, I don't know who created Jonah Hex, but it was specifically Warner Brothers or something like that. It was Warner Brothers or Universal Studio, whichever big uh company owned those IPs to those specific movies. Not necessarily the public domain side of it, but just those movies that they did in the past. Yeah, Dark Universe is Dracula, Dr. Jekyll, Helsing, Invisible Man, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Black Lagoon, and the guy in the painting. Oh yeah, Dorian Gray. Yeah, I know that because of the League. Basically, the League is an extraordinary gentleman, but they're all separate, pretty much. Invisible Man was the best of the ones they made. You mean the Kevin Bacon one, or did they make a new one? I don't remember. I don't know how far they got in the Dark Universe, but it was like a Warner Brothers and not exactly okay. Slate of films: The Mummy, 2017, Invisible Man. Oh, okay. So you're talking about the new Invisible Man? Okay, Renfield. I don't know that one. The Last Voyage of Demeter. I don't know that one either. Lisa Frankenstein, Abigail, the Wolfman. What are they gonna do? Team up? The title Universal Monsters film. Yeah, Universal. Yeah, okay, I said that right. Okay. Unreleased pre-production. They're sort of still doing it. If it's okay, I guess they're still. Well, I don't know if they're all together, but they're probably still going to do the movies. I've heard talks of them not doing. They're just going to drop the whole shared universe thing and just make the movies themselves still. But I don't know if they're going through with that because you know how things change. You know, they said a lot of things that weren't going to happen, and now we're getting those exact same things. Like Sony not relinquishing the rights to Spider-Man to Marvel, and they ended up doing it. Not permanently, but they did it. You know, that was they. You know, they weren't going to do it at first, and there were some other things as well that they you know you that were unexpected, but they ended up happening anyway. Now they're talking. You know, there's been rumors that they're going to do another. Well, I don't know if they're rumors, but there have been talks about the possibility of a Spider-Man 4, Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4. I'm not saying that they're planning on doing it, but they're now open to doing it, you know, if it comes up. So, and I feel like they're saying that for a reason. I think because of No Way Home that kind of opened up the door for that to be a possibility. Oh, that one, Renfield. Okay, got you. I got to see it. Yeah. I saw two recently. It was one where he was a buffalo hunter and he was just killing thousands of buffalo well, he was killing thousands of buffalo. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to spoil the movie unless in case you haven't seen it. And there was another western movie where he had to avenge his wife or whatever. Those are the two that I've seen recently. There's still quite a few more for me to catch up on. They have their own entertainment value, like you said, for the wrong reasons. But I do somewhat enjoy his movies, even if they're pretty bad. We're gonna smooth out that stuff. Oh, that one. Okay, I actually saw that. I just didn't click on it. That'll be the next one I watch. Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? We got nothing. That's what we got. We got nothing because I just erased it. I said we got nothing. Don't come back. It's coming back. It's coming back. It just tells me that we're gonna have to remesh this pretty soon, but we're not going to remesh it. I'm gonna wait until I get the feet and then remesh it. I think I'm gonna pull this down a little bit more and then, so I feel like the length of the feet are off a little bit. Well, I want to make them bulbous down there because that'll be his heel. Like it won't go any further than this. So we want to make them a little bit more rounded to shape his heel out a little bit. And more like a almost I'm trying to do a teardrop shape, like a really wide teardrop shape, like maybe like an onion, like a bulbous shape in the bottom, because that's kind of the shape of a heel a little bit, and then we can extrude the feet out the front to complete the body. Then we're gonna go back and do the hands and detail those, and then we'll have an entire body ready to go. Once we put it all together, I do want to do. I should probably do the footwear right off the bat because I already know I'm going to need a high poly mesh of that. So that way, when I do the topology for the body, and as soon as I'm done with the body, we can just do the boots right there, and then we'll go and do the garment add-on for the rest of the clothes. It'll be dressed similarly as the character we've done, so it'll be real nice and easy. Hey, has anyone seen that new Beverly Hills Cop movie yet? Is that, and if you have, is it worth watching? I've heard a rumor that it was actually good. I'm gonna be honest. I know that the third one didn't do too well, but I didn't think it was that bad. To be honest, I think it was like it wasn't as good as the first two, obviously, but it was okay in its own way, I guess. I haven't watched it, but a friend I trust in movie said it's an okay movie. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it was actually not, it wasn't bad. That it actually might be good. So I guess I can check that out. All right, so we kind of lost some of that S shape. We're gonna first his calves might be a little too. Let's see, those legs are pretty skinny. I mean, that's entirely possible. Like I said, I've seen people who have big upper bodies and skinny legs. So I mean, it's definitely possible, and it's not going to be as noticeable when we put clothes on them. But I kind of just want to keep that natural shape, the S. Like you have the S here, and then you'll have another S here. I want to keep that. It's a little bit more on brand with his body type. And look around on the front here, you can kind of still make out his muscles, his quads shape. But I don't want to make him too defined because he's not like a buff person. We just gotta fix that. Fix his legs there. His legs are a little too like like a little, like it got burned there, or it's a little too sinewy or something. I don't know. We're gonna smooth that out. We're gonna continue to smooth it out. I'm not gonna worry if that stuff come if those little cuts come back now because, like I said, we'll probably have to remesh it again after we do the foot. So what I'll do is I'll cover it up and then just leave it once I get those right smoothing texture, the leg, and then once when I remesh it, we'll just go back and fix that. I don't even know why that's there. Sometimes things just happen. Still getting getting the hang of things that you have to expect in Blender. Also, the knees. We have the basic shape of the knee there, but it's a little rough. So that's another thing that we're going to be working on. I'm just gonna keep smoothing them out. I'm just gonna smooth out more. I don't want to work today. Yeah, I hear you. It's gonna be like 99 today. I don't think anybody's looking forward to that. I'm just gonna leave my air on in here. Keep it nice and cool. I got a little dip right here. We don't want that. I'm just gonna have the like really basic shaped calves. Like you're gonna have like normally you would have like the two muscles, but I have a reference of someone with a similar body type here. Not exactly the same, but it's close enough. and you don't really see that definition there in that person's body. So I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna make sure at least it has like that same shape. Like it could be there, but it's not really. You can't really see it. It's not really well defined. Look at the front here. Yeah, I think this is a little bit off. In fact, let's look at it from an angle that we could actually see what's going on here. This should be a little bit more this way. That's what I'm trying to move it without disturbing the shape that we created. I'm trying to move it over just a little bit. You can still kind of see just that part, and it probably stops like around right there. I have a 40-minute commute walking to work, and I hope that the AC works today. It tends to not. Yeah, I remember it being, yeah, it's bays that get cold in the winter, hot in the summer. I remember that. uh I was just thinking about Guild Wars 2. I don't think I can get my account back, so I can't really. I know during that time we were playing that. It just popped in my head. I don't know why, but I don't have that email anymore. I had a problem with getting it going. There was a Windows update, and then Guild Wars just stopped working for me for whatever reason. So I just didn't. I never played it again after that. And then when I tried to reinstall it, it still wouldn't work. So I don't have no idea what was going on. I've been thinking of FF11 and City of Heroes lately. Yeah, I have been. I've been playing 11 here and there. Like I said, I'm raising up a new character. I'm doing quests now. I'm just gonna get them all out of the way, and I'm doing the imprimaturs stuff, so I can get rune fencer and geomancers ergon weapons in the future. It ain't gonna be anytime soon. It's a long time to get legend in every coalition, but I'm gonna stay on top of it this time, and I'm doing the old character that you streamed when you streamed it, and my new one at the same time because I can do it. I can do them both at once. So I should have had my Galka done by now, but I just kind of neglected it. I didn't really want to do it, but since I plan on playing every job at a certain level, I want to have those swords unlocked, so in case I decide to get them. But yeah, it's pretty. It wasn't too bad. Once you have a backup character that can help you get stuff, it's really not that bad. Getting uh gearing up another character if you want to do it. It's just the only problem is the story. The story just takes so long to complete. It's probably not as long as 14 is now because 14 is really drawn out. Oh, by the way, what was it called? Dawn Trail? Have you tried that yet? I've heard some things about it. I've heard that the first couple of hours into Dawn Trail only has like 6 fights and the rest of it is just story. That sounds tedious to me because I know how the story is sometimes. You're just sitting there watching the cutscenes, but I don't know. I'm really I try like I don't know. The story of 14 doesn't. It's not as it's longer than 11, and they're speaking, so you don't have to read as much. But I don't know. It's very drawn out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I'm hearing that. Like it's like I'm wondering if anyone has like any input on that. Like if they played it yet. So it's a reboot. I know that it's more of you mentoring another character than you actually being the center of the story. So I know that kind of plays a part in you not doing everything. I don't know how long the story is. I still have a lot of catching up. I think I'm still in what was it? What was it? Is it Lightbringer? What is it called? What's the one after Stormblood? And did I even do Stormblood? No, I did Stormblood. It's what is it? It's Heavensward, Stormblood. What's after Stormblood? Is that Ending Walker? Shadowbringers. Okay. Shadowbringers, yeah. I still have to. Okay, got you. I like Treasure's storyline. Treasures of Outer Gun. That's my favorite one. Even though it kind of really doesn't have anything to do with anything. Really, it's kind of its own thing. But I enjoyed it a lot more than Wings of the Goddess. Yeah. Okay. So I have to. I'm like in the second. I think I beat the second dungeon in Shadowbringers. I still have to do that, Endwalker, and then Dawn Trail. And I know that's a. And then you, of course, you have the post quest missions in between each two. It really pads it out. I know that's a long way from to go for me. So I have that to look forward to when I circle back to 14. I like playing tanks. I still want to do every tank in the game, and then blue. I'm saving blue because blue is my absolute favorite job, and blue can tank as well, so that's a plus. But I really like blue mage. But I really took a liking to tanking in that game. You know, it's just it gave me the like it was the anxiety. Like, oh shoot, I got all these people. You know, I got seven other people that I gotta protect. I think that whole the stress and the anxiety kind of like and the exhilaration of you always everything success and failure all depends on basically the tank. You know, other than the healer. I think that kind of helped me enjoy it more because of that. Even though I kind of don't like being stressed out, but no one does really. But there was a bit of like I guess a masochism to it in a way because I'm not normally a tank in these types of games unless I'm so good at the job that I play that I can tank if I want to. Like in Blue Mage and 11, if I take hate off of the actual tank, I know exactly what to do because I know the job well enough. But in 14, it's like if once you're the tank. Unless you're the off tank, then you have your own job if you're the off tank. But main tank, you know, you grab them and you hold them. That's all you got to do basically. Just grab them and hold them. And you know what I don't like about that though? I don't like that they put something that you cannot defend against in the game. That does not make sense to me whatsoever. Your job is the tank, so why are there tank busters? And you can't avoid them. It's not like I can understand like okay, this is a tank buster, you should avoid it. No, usually a tank buster you have to take that and hope that the healer can get you. You know, I don't. I That's the one thing I don't like about tanking. I mean, yeah, it adds a kind of like I don't know if you can tank it, you probably will, right? But except when there's a tank buster, that's the only time. I guess they thought of that as a curveball and they kind of threw. I mean, I kind of get it if you want to, we want to. I don't know, but once it gets more like routine, it kind of becomes annoying. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Nah, man, start blue at the beginning of Endwalker with me. I'll show you all the ways. Okay, okay, okay. You know what? Yeah, all right, all right. Yeah, I've been really saving that because I wanted to do all the tanks, but yeah, all right, all right. I'll consider that. I'm gonna be a gold blue because that's like my whole my theme. I have my character's name in 14 is Golden Freddy, and I really would if they put a bear head in that game that I can color gold. I will come back I will literally come back immediately. Like the day they put that in the game, I will just I'm all right. I'm back. I'm Golden Freddy now. I think I have a pig head that's gold, but close enough, right? I want to get the frog head though. There's a frog head, if I and I can color it gold. I don't know why I did it. I just said, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna make this my character, and people get a kick out of it. People enjoy it. They give you more combinations. They might go easy on you if you mess up. I think I've only messed up two fights ever in that entire game. And I can tell you which ones. Actually, no, three, because when the game was new, I messed up the poison dragon because I didn't have cure two when I was training paladin. I was actually a white mage at the time. I was going in with cure one, and I could not out heal the poison tick damage. Just the one where the green dragon throws up the poison on the ground. You have to avoid the puddles. Yeah, I was a little. I didn't have all my spells for that game, so I kind of messed that fight up. The one where you have to. There's these two mini dragons that you have to tank together. I said, man, I'm a paladin. I can tank them both. They say that you're supposed to. Well, main tank gets one dragon, off tank gets the other dragon, but they didn't. I don't remember if they said why, because some of those you kind of have to. I don't know. They make it so that you. It's almost a requirement to watch the video, the guides on how to do the fight beforehand, which kind of defeats the purpose of discovery. That's what I like about 11 so much is figuring out how to do the fights, with just with your own strategy. But since there's like seven other people that depend on you succeeding, it almost like, and they get kind of fussy. At least they used to. I don't know. Now it's kind of against the law in the game. They can get banned for complaining about people's performance, but they can still just kick you. So there's that, and that's kind of counterintuitive to you doing the content if you're getting kicked as a tank. I never got kicked or voted to kick because I always, did the job right. But in this case, I saw those two dragons. I was like, man, I'm strong enough to tank them both. But the thing is, if the dragons are together, they do so much more damage that they'll just kill everyone. And that's what happened. I did that one time. I kind of messed up there. I could have easily, if they didn't have that mechanic, I could have easily tanked both of the dragons by myself without the off tank. I got a little too big for my britches. I think at the time I did I was doing Palace of the Dead, and you're not supposed to let who was at the top? It was, I think it was Behemoth, like a behemoth in him at the top. And of course, if he does Meteor, typically he'll wipe the whole party. But I tanked it. I tanked Meteor by myself. It killed the rest of the party because I guess we didn't have the damage. And and then after I tanked it, I killed it by myself. So I was pretty like high. I was high on my own farts. And I was like, man, I can do this, man. I was like, because I personally never, once he did Meteor, everyone was dead. He didn't, but I didn't die. I lived, and then I killed him. So I was very, and it's nothing. Palace of the Dead is not even like premier content. But I was pretty happy with myself, and I kind of carried over, to the rest of my fights for a bit. And I was like, man, I can tank both of these dragons, and I would have done it if it weren't for that. And then the Shiva fight on Extreme, I just did not get that mechanic at the time. I think I went into it blind, and for some reason she was just wiping us, so I did it uncapped, and that's how I beat it. I kind of went back and looked, and I didn't see where I was going. I did look at the guide after the fact. I didn't see where I was going wrong. I just didn't get it at the time. But I was just trying to get through the story, so I wasn't really analyzing as much. What was going on. All I know is that I was one moment I'm tanking Shiva, the other minute we're just dead. We're all dead, and I'm not really sure where I went wrong still to this day. Let me see. Nice tank you got there. Shame if I busted. Yeah, exactly. Hey, that one thing that your one fucking job, you can't do it now. It's bad enough that we got to play freaking kids games, during a fight. Got to find out where you're. I keep bringing this up. You got to play the cup and ball game. The cup and ball game. Your healer gets a cup put over him, and they shuffle it. And if you pick the wrong cup, you're dead. Your healer dies, and then everyone else dies because the healer's dead. I'm like, man, can't we just kill the monster? I'm not really too keen on the way they do phases in the fights and all the other extracurricular stuff. Some of it is fun, other times it isn't. Um, I like just relying on strategy that the players come up with instead of just having to be guided through the fight. But I don't have a problem with the game. I'm just some little minor criticisms here and there. I do like 14, but I like 11 more because you can just see what's going on, and then just adjust to that. You know, when it comes to fighting monsters in 11, you kind of figure it out as you go. It doesn't go the exact same way every time. There's a lot of RNG into it, so there's a lot of room to adjust and adapt to the fight, and I feel like that's a better way than, okay, just kill this guy. Oh, this, yeah, I was going to say, this is this. Hey, look, okay, you've been good up to this point, but now he does this, and now you got to see how much damage you do in order to continue fighting. It's like you can't. First of all, you can't fight at your own pace. You're being told where to stand. It's like it's very like it's kind of it's a little too guided the way the fights are, but it's all right. You know, overall it's a fun game. It's just, you know, once you get to the point where people just want to get through it instead of like enjoying what's there, then it kind of becomes a little stressful because if you keep dying to these things that kind of circumvent the way the game is played, then people are going to get upset and try to, get rid of you or whatever, and you have to go and start the whole process over again. Like I said before, I have never been in that position, so I'm not speaking from, a point of a bitterness or anything like that. For the most part, I did what I was supposed to do. I did learn. If I did mess something up, I learned, and went on. But for like 99% of the time, I did my job correctly. But I do must say, when I did try Samurai as a DPS, and that was the fastest I ever capped a job. I was like, wow, I ain't got to worry about nothing. All I have to do is just do my little samurai rotations. I had like 4 or 5 bars on the screen, and I had them all set in order to do the best rotation possible. And I would just click, 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 and just be at the top of the DPS charts every time. Don't ask me how I know I was at the top of the DPS charts, because third-party programs aren't allowed, okay? Let's just say I know because I'm a psychic. But that was fun. And that's why when you queue in as a DPS, you're not going to get parties very often because everyone's a DPS. So that's why I kind of chose to be a tank, because you'll always get a party. Let's see. I never did any Palace or the high level versions. Did I? I think I did. Maybe I did not though. I didn't do any of the Bahamut fights, even though there's some stuff in there that I want to get as a lock style or glamour, as they call it in that game. Can't really say lock style. That's 11 thing. But yeah, I do enjoy 14. It's just sometimes there are certain things about it. I'm like, okay, let me just get through this. Let me just get through this. And every fight can be like that when you're a tank. When you're just coming into it for the first time, everybody already knows the fight except you, and everyone's depending on you. So it's like, oh man, I gotta make sure that everything is tip top. But it's fun. You get knocked out, you gotta run back. You gotta run back in. You have to run back in. You can't punk out, okay, like you can in 11. 11, you could just run away from a lot of, if it's not instance, you can just run. There's no running in 14. If you get knocked out of your tanking position, you got to get back in there. All right. It's kind of fun. Let me just get through this. Yeah. Yeah. It can be very stressful. It can be very stressful. But that's part of the reason why I picked the tank. There was a bit of like a thrill to that I expressed. But when I picked Samurai, man, oh man, it was so much better just having not to be worried about anything. All I had to do was just worry about where to stand, and that was it. And the first one that I picked when A Realm Reborn was in beta was Monk. It was, that was still the same thing, except certain things would only work when they had positional skills. Meaning, I don't know, I'm pretty sure they took all that stuff out now. But if you don't know what that is, and you're listening to this, basically some classes in that game, some jobs like Dragoon and Monk, you had to stand in certain spots relative to the enemy in order for your moves to be most effective. So you had to keep moving. You didn't just stand there and fight. You had to like move to his left, do this move, or move behind him, do this move. This move only works to the the east of him or whatever, something like that. They don't have any of that stuff anymore. But that was basically the extent of my job as a monk when the game first came out, and they slowly phased that stuff out. Can't run back anymore in 14. They do Dark Souls gates. Yeah, you can't run it at all. I'm talking about the times where you get knocked back, like when you get hit with a knockback move, and you're out of position now. So now the mob is like in a position where it shouldn't be, like facing the party. Normally, you face the mob away from the party. So when you get conals, you know how the games play. This is for people who don't know though, and they're listening to this. There's conal attacks. So when you first run in, you do all of your hate building moves. Basically, the aggro has to be on you as a tank, right? So you do all that stuff as you run in, but you run past the mob, so it'll turn around, and the party just stands behind it most of the time. And that's like 90% of your job right there. Turn the mob away from the party and keep hate. It's just Paladin has it the easiest because they have the most hate generation and damage mitigating tactics. At least to my knowledge, I don't know. I heard one of the tanking jobs was kind of really easy, like a gunbreaker or something like that. I can't remember. I haven't played it yet. I've only done warrior and paladin so far. Warrior is more damage oriented, and at least it was when I was playing it. I don't know what it is now. Most of the boss fights don't move anymore. They are too big and take up too much screen. I just imagine like a big Durandal looking dude. He's just there. You can't move. You just gotta stand in front of him and take everything. You have to take it. That would used to be reserved to bosses. I think it was like that with some of the end bosses in what was the one? Stormblood? What's the one where they just like half the floor is white, half the floor is black, and you have to keep switching? If you stay in the black, you start getting too long, you start getting stacks, so you have to kind of reverse the stacks by going the other way. It takes away the black if you're standing in the white, and but then after you have no more black, it starts gathering white. You got to switch back and all that stuff. It's like, and then they have the epic music playing, like blasting in your ear. And you got to do all this. That's probably the most fun part of that was like the last the ending bosses of what was it? Was that was Stormblood, right? Or was that Heaven's Ward? I forget. It's like, oh no, get knocked back, get back in there. Oh, no, I done goofed here. What the heck did I do? I messed up. I done did goofed. Can I get out of this? What have I done? But yeah, yeah, get knocked out, you get knocked down, gotta get back up again. Because they're never gonna keep you down. I forgot how to get out of this. There we go. At least I hope I got out of it. I don't know. One of those fights I did have to restart. I don't remember. Um, One of the big dudes. I think it was a dragon. I don't know, but we did it again. We did it on the second try. We got it on the second try. It was just something that was it's one thing seeing it, like if you're looking at a guy, you see it, see how it's done. Then doing it is another thing. So people, even if you do everything right, somebody might move left instead of right. So you can't plan for everything. That should be part of the fun, but people get pissed. So it's like, man, we're gonna get it. Just keep going. You don't have to get mad at anyone. We're gonna get it. All right, we're right there. We're literally right there. Don't worry about it. I'm looking for my remesh stuff. Apparently, I closed a lot of stuff, and I'm not sure where to look anymore. Oh, oh, why is it on Eevee anyway? Octane. Oh, maybe that's why. I'm sorry. I'm a little lost here because everything changed. forgot where the remesh things is. I like keeping that up so I could just turn, because that's really the only thing that I need is the remesh. Where the heck is it? And I always forget where it is. Still a noob when it comes to this. Shouldn't it be here? Oh, just don't stand in the bag. Yeah, floor is hot lava. That and confidence games. I thought it was funny. You got to block a giant sword as a tank. It's all on you that time. It's all on you. You get a big gigantic sword that just swings down. You have to block it, and you got to do the little quick time event, or the entire island gets destroyed and everybody dies. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I mean, yeah, I really do. That was the most I've ever enjoyed tanking for all the stress that it brings. But it's kind of like a thrill seeking thing when it comes to that. Like it's like things like that. You're sitting there getting chunked, and you just have to hope that the healer can back you up in time from a tank buster. Even though I can most of the time I can heal myself because I'm a paladin, but it's really stressful when you're like a warrior and you can't really all you have is the one. I think there's like one healing skill you get. I haven't tried Dark Knight yet. What is this? I thought it was here. I have an ability to make you take no DPS for 2 seconds. Better hope I time it right. Yeah. I also have that too. I have Invincible, I have Rampart, Sentinel. A lot of those skills are in 11 too. I never played Paladin on 11. Not even once. I kind of want to though. I'm gonna learn every job. Spoiler: I never time it right. They get mad at you. Some people just can't help it. That community can be toxic sometimes, especially with all the like, well, not especially, but like not all the weird stuff that's in that game. Notwithstanding, they got they had the whole thing with the brothels and all that. I was like, I didn't even know this was in the game. What is going on? But there's like a whole subculture within that game. It's kind of weird, funny too. Why wouldn't it be GPU? I'm sorry. I'm completely discombobulated here. So I don't know where I must have hit something because I don't know where my remeshing is, and I kind of need that. I was emoting, with 14. I hit some buttons. We got a little crazy. We got a little crazy. It's okay though. We'll fix it. Don't worry about it. Uh, it's like everything's super different. I'm not sure why that's the case. Trust can't be mad at me. I haven't played with another person in 3 expansions. Oh, really? It's like that? You can just do that. You could just play through the game with trust. Okay, hold on a second. I'm calling for help. I gotta look this up. Help! You can solo 9% of the game now with trust if you level them. Oh yeah, I remember I was leveling them. That's how I did the first two um dungeons in The one after Stormblood, I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. Um, well, that I didn't realize I was. All I had to do was go to sculpt mode. I completely brain farted there. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for that, people. I kind of screwed up there. All I literally just had to go into to sculpt mode. Somehow I don't know if I did it trying to fix what I was doing, but I forgot I was still in that mode. Anyway, we're back. We're good. Everything's cool. We got it. It's cool. We're good. You're good. We're good. I'm good. Okay. Yishtola is good. All right. Or however you say her name. Immortal Flame is good. Twin Serpents are good. The third people are good. I forget what the name. Storm something's good. All right. Sky Castle people are good. Yeah, we're returned to normal here. I saw some when I was troubleshooting my own stupidity here. I saw some stuff that I want to kind of improve upon. It's kind of the knee area and a little bit of the quad, the bottom of the quad. Only one true nation. Oh yeah, you know it. Mortal Flames, baby. Honestly, next time I play that game, I really want to get a house and keep it. I remember I was hardcore trying to do that when the last time we all played. I was so mad that they put a freaking timer that you can't see on the lots. I was very angry about that. I was like, man, why would they do that? You can't just stop me from getting what I want, okay? All right, 99. Have a great day at work. We got about 15 more minutes of this, and then we will return tomorrow and finishing this. I'm sorry I wasted some of that time trying to figure out what the heck to do here, but we got it. We're back, okay? Yeah. I know they added more since then, but they're probably taken because lots of people play that game. So maybe one day, someday, my dream will come of a golden house on a golden street to match my golden character. I do really dumb stuff, okay, in games. All right, that's what I do. That's my shtick. All right, my shtick was to make a golden house with a golden character in it and just sit in it and just be golden. And my name is Golden Freddy. I think I made his knees a little bit too pronounced. It looked like a what is that candy? A bumpy chocolate candy? I forget. Anyway, it looks like that. We're going to we're going to kind of work on that. I'm gonna try to make it a little more smoother. See, work on the knees a little bit more. I want to kind of give it the knee bone look that it has, but make it more non-sep like not less not like four bulbous things here. I'm trying to make it more connected. So that's what I'm trying to work on right now. I think the autosave took place because I had a little bit of a hang up there, but we seem to be okay as far as moving and manipulating this thing. So all right, man. Thank you for stopping by, Judd. Judicious. Sometimes I abbreviate your name as Judd. I'm sorry. Yeah. Catch you later. Yeah, we're going to be stopping soon ourselves. So, in fact, yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more and then we're just going to stop. Uh, the knee still looks a little weird, but yeah, maybe I'll just situate that, get that looking like a proper, at least closer to a proper knee than it does now, and then we'll just go ahead and call it for the day. Oops. We don't want a big stroke like that. I'm going to smooth this out a little bit. We're not specifically perfect at making knees, but we're going to try to give it our best shot here. Like that. And then we're going to kind of make a little dip there. Maybe like a dip here. And then I'm going to bring the muscle down a little bit more. See if that's a good try here. Just a little bit. We're going to smooth that. Let me get some clay strips in there and try to bridge that gap that we made with that line there. And we're going to smooth it. But I think overall, like even with both 11 or sorry, both MMO games, I feel like uh that's something they need to work on. It's just like a little bit less of let's just get through this parts. Like both MMOs kind of suffer from that. So it's not just 14. Like 11 has those moments too, and that's definitely something that I feel is a criticism for both games. But overall, I mean, I like them both. I just like 11 more. I think there's like I really like 11's world and the way they did the jobs and um, the way that that you approach fights. It's very more. It's a more tactical approach. And then of course the gear swapping. It's really fun. Like making sets of gear that you can swap to on the fly. That will boost how your job performs. I really wish that's something that they carried over to 14. I think you can. I mean, it's good that you can switch jobs on the fly for the most part, unless you're in a duty, you're in a dungeon or whatever. You can't do that then. But I think, what would be interesting is if you could do that like in the middle of battle, like, but then you wouldn't really. I think that would kind of mess up the flow of the fight. So maybe that's not so much of a good idea. Yeah, we're gonna try to smooth out this part of the quad here. I think the knees are. I think the one issue with the knees now is that they're just a little bit too pronounced. So should I go over them as a whole like this, or do I try to smooth out? I think I'm gonna try both. We're slowly making his legs a little bit more defined, and we don't want that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take smooth with a little bit of a stronger brush and kind of melt them down a little bit. Just a little bit. Now I'm going to focus my attention on just this part. I'm going to kind of smooth that out. We kind of made it a little too defined. Nope, we don't want to use that. I wonder if I could just do this. Still too defined. I think what I'm gonna do instead is just pull them out. Try to pull out the definition. Got to yank it out. I don't want them to be too muscular. We started off making that mistake. We kind of reversed it a little bit, and now we're kind of adding too much here. So I'm going to pull them out a little bit more. Check the shape of the general shape of it. See how it's kind of has that curve, the S curve that we were going for. But here we got that extra bump. So I'm going to try to blend the two bumps into one. And then I'm going to move this. I'm going to try to get a little bit, just pull out a little bit more of these wrinkles, right? And then we're going to smooth them a little bit. I want to get rid of this line because now that's really the only thing left that kind of gives it a lot more definition than it really needs. It should only, well, actually, no, that line is actually there. Maybe we can shorten it. That line is still technically there in a build like this. So that little cut there, a little scar. We're going to get rid of that. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. That did not help. Let's scrape that right now, and then we'll just leave that area alone until we extrude the feet. There, it's gone. And we're just going to leave that little dent there, and we'll fix that. All right, so what we're going to be working on tomorrow is we're going to adjust this shape. This is still a little bit off here. The inner is okay, I think. Um, we'll still have to make some adjustments to the general shape on both sides. Maybe pull this out. Actually, yeah, why don't I just scrape this a little bit more and smooth it. Scrape's really good for erasing wrinkles. I'm discovering, well, except for right there. Maybe we can just leave that alone. You can still see the line where we extrude it. We can leave the back. No, actually, no, we can't. That's another thing we're gonna have to work on. We have to put the calf muscle kind of stretches up into here, and we have the lines there. The lines are there, but they need to be more clearly defined. So that's another thing that we're gonna have to do. We're gonna do in the next time. Just taking inventory of everything that we need to work on before we move on. Looks like we still have enough polygons in order to make these changes without having to remesh. I want to save the remesh until we get the foot out. Okay, but that is essentially on our docket for tomorrow. But so far, this is what we have. We have some legs. We just need to tweak the shape a little bit more. We should be good. His stance is a little bit more wider than the first characters. And I think we should probably bring his arms down more straighter with his upper arm here, but this is what we have. Just some minor tweaks here and there. We still got to do the eyes. We have to tweak his eyes a little bit for our topology. Straighten his arms a little bit more, and then adjust his legs, front and back. Okay. That is our goal for next stream. I have to save it. I'm gonna save it right here. All right. I want to thank everyone who stopped by, watched the stream. Thank you for watching the VOD, and I thank you to those who watch the YouTube videos. If plans allow, I will be back tomorrow morning, and we're going to continue on with all the things that we need to work on. Hopefully, we'll have a full body tomorrow to ready to remesh. We're going to start that, and when I can't do that, we're going to start another mesh. We're going to keep the train rolling here. We got to get to 7, okay? Without rushing, preferably. Get ourselves a nice, good workflow solidified so we can really get through these. Okay. So if you return, I will see you tomorrow, and take care. Have a great rest of your day. Try to be safe out there in this heat if you have to deal with the heat.